My first guest tonight is on the front lines of the war against cancel culture. He says it's not just the woke mob we got to worry about. It's big tech and big government teaming up to exert control over every aspect of our lives. And it's time that we all fight back. Joining us now, Senator Josh Hawley from Missouri, author of the brand new book called The Tyranny of Big Tech. Senator, you've been on the front lines of this. The book that you've just launched is really a way to help America understand what big tech is doing to us. In a nutshell, why should we be worried about big tech?
I think you've got to go back at least a century to find monopolies with this amount of power in American history. And right now, the left is trying to use these big tech companies to carry out their censorship agenda, and they're having a lot of success with it. We've got to do something about it.
People argue they're private companies. Why should the government get involved? It's a free marketplace. So if that's what they want to do, let them do what they want, and the competition can just go and challenge them. What's wrong with that argument in this regard when it comes to big tech?
Well, because in this case, when the free market isn't functioning, because they are monopolies. I mean, we've recognized for a long time in this country that monopoly is the enemy of the free market. Monopoly is the enemy of capitalism. Why? Because it squelches competition. It puts a barrier up to new business, to new competitors. And that's exactly what these companies have done. They go out and they buy competitors. They drive competitors out of business. Look at Parler, a conservative-leaning app, a Twitter-like platform that was trying to compete with Twitter. And what happened in January? Well, Twitter got together with Amazon and with Apple and Google and basically erased Parler in 48 hours. If that's not anti-competitive, I don't know what is. And if that's not control over speech, I mean, it's an incredible amount of power that these companies have, and that's why we need to confront them.
You know, even if smaller companies were to get together, whether it was a group of oil distributors, and they said, here's what the price is going to be, we're not going to let this company over here have any part of the market. We're going to keep them from getting any of the supply. Well, the Federal Trade Commission would be all over that. So how come the Federal Trade Commission and other federal agencies don't rush in and say, you guys just can't do that?
Back in 2012, the Federal Trade Commission was about to launch an antitrust suit against Google. What happened? Google CEOs went to the White House, to the Obama White House, and stopped it. So that's real influence that the tech companies have in our government. That's one of the reasons that the government has been so slow to act. And not just that, what we really have, Mike, is a big government, big business alliance. It's the two of those things teaming up together, and that is bad for the American people.
Well, just this week, Facebook decided they were going to continue the permanent ban on Donald Trump. This is a man who was elected president by the people of the country. And in the second election, when he wasn't elected, he still got 75 million votes. And the panel that decided they would uphold Facebook is 20 people, only 5 of whom are even Americans. This thing is based in London. What business do they have of telling the President of the United States and 75 million of his supporters they can't follow him on Facebook?
This wouldn't really matter as much if President Trump and other conservatives could say, well, I'll just go over to this other competitor. I'll go over to this other platform. There is no, though, competitor to whom the president can go because these companies are monopolies, because they are killing competition, and because they have this stranglehold increasingly on speech in this country. And once again, that's why we've got to get tough on them.
I know that in writing your book, you take this stuff on. I've seen you in committee hearings on Capitol Hill, and there are a few of you and Marsha Blackburn and others have been pretty bold in talking to guys like Zuckerberg and Jack Dorsey of Twitter and others. Realistically, what can and what will Congress do? And if Congress won't do it, if you can't get enough of your colleagues to help you get that done, what can the American people do? What avenues do we have to get a grip on this?
Well, what Congress can do is give Americans the right to sue these companies, is give individuals the right to go to court when these companies act in a discriminatory fashion, when they fail to follow their own terms of service. I think that would be one of the most important changes in the law we can make. Get rid of that immunity that these companies enjoy, that near blanket immunity, and allow folks to actually vindicate their rights in court. I also think we've got to pass legislation that'll break them up. It's time to break up these companies they shouldn't have this kind of monopoly power. That's where I would focus, Mike. Now, in terms of what individuals can do if Congress won't act, we can take back control of our own lives by saying we're not going to spend all this time on your platform. We're going to reclaim our family life for our family and not allow this platform or this device to be part of every interaction you have throughout the day. Those are important, small but meaningful steps that Americans can take to put themselves back in control.
Well, I hope it happens. Senator Josh Hawley, thank you for your time tonight. And for our audience, you can pick up a copy of the Senator's new book, The Tyranny of Big Tech, right now, and I hope you will. It's a great book. Every American ought to read what's happening to our country by big tech. You can also follow the Senator in real time on Twitter.